Because you now have, all of this cordage, and as an example, this is the small one, but I do have some others in here. How do I actually get them back and organized? Because you do not want to leave your cordage like that. So one way that I do it, and again, there are various ways, but the easiest way that I found was for a cordage of this size, I typically, again, going back to our little marling spike hitch, so loop in here, loop again, right? Create that window. I just slide that over my finger, right? You just tie that a little bit. So I just want to secure this in place while I tie it up the rest. If you have a lot of cordage, I don't have it, you could do this with your hand open. I'm not going to do it with my hand open. I'm going to show you a second way to do it, which I really just do this, little like heavy metal gesture here. So the moment you have this, your two fingers like that, you're going to do a figure eight. So you're going to go one finger like that, and then the other one. And you keep going, and you keep going, right? You just adjust that, keep going, until you have about, I want to say, a foot of cordage left, right? It's just hanging in there. So in my finger, that's kind of how it looks like. So if I remove, just slide my fingers in here, away from that. And remember, that loop can be easily undone. I'm just going to reconfigure my figure eight. So I have, I'm going to show you this, how this looks like. So I kind of have this figure eight in here. Now watch what you can do. So the cord is going down here. What I want to do with that is I want to wrap around this whole block of cordage. So I'm going to do a few loops. I'm just going to loop up. There's no real size. I kind of tie this up from time to time. So keep looping it. You just give it a little bit of a squeeze every now and then to bring everything together. Keep going. And then you're going to end up with just a little bit like that, right? So if I change the angle here, it's kind of how it looks like. The bottom, this is the bottom, and that's the top. You can make this short too. If you pull this side, one of these loops here will move. We can identify that now. So here you go. So this one. So I get this end, and I'm going to put under that loop at the top. Okay, I'm just going to hold that with my finger, like that. And then I'm going to keep pulling the bottom here. Look at what happens. So this will squeeze that little end either under the whole set of loops in here, or just going to secure that at the top. That's a fairly easy way to do it. Now you do end up with this long end like I had in here. You could, redo this and make sure that this is not going anywhere. Or what I typically do, I'm not going to be fighting over this, because when you're doing this, you're probably leaving camp. In some cases, like when we were up in the Rockies, it was like raining, it was cold. I want to get this organized, but I want to get back to my truck and kind of get back to the road as soon as possible. You don't want to be, it's not art. You're trying to get organized. You don't want to leave your cords just as a mess. But perhaps you don't have time. So in this situation, what I do is I keep going around here at the top, and then once I can't really go anymore, I just tuck the cord under one of these loops like that, and then I pull it. And honestly, that's about it. So it would stay like that. I do have another one here so you can kind of see it. It's a longer one. So for this one here, you'd actually do with your hand open, and your figure eight goes across these two fingers in here, like that, right? You would do little hang loose, and then you would go around your fingers. But this is a lot better than, than just like that. So there you go.